I feel like they should have, because I don't know, because when he got those souls, obviously OG made the call to have the Shadow Shaman mid at the start as well. Should maybe MidOrFeed reply differently to that?
I mean, the middle lane was also really weird because he had the soul advantage. But I think just No-Tail and Jerax did a great job of controlling the Shadow Fiend despite the Sand King being there. He got 1 kill on Jerax mid, but at that point, No-Tail was actually still keeping up in farm, and at one point, he fell behind later, but at one point he was ahead. He still came out of the laning phase just fine, despite the early first blood. And then you have your Sand King that's supposed to go around the map and create a lot of pressure, but aside from that 1 kill, he didn't really do anything.
True. Yep. We have a draft for game number 2, so Charlie, if you will. The war room is ready, and I mean, we already decided it wasn't a draft issue for MidOrFeed. It was not really. Although, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised to see Anti-Mage getting banned out. He's not so far. MidOrFeed banned out Brewmaster,
Shadow Demon,
Puck, and Shadow Demon. Yeah.
And then we got Wyvern and Tiny on the other side.
Brewmaster.
Actually, I just want to talk a tiny bit more about that Veno versus the Shadow Fiend. Even when Shadow Fiend has a damage advantage, once you get a level 2 Gale on that Shadow Fiend, he's still very squishy. With some amount of pressure coming in from the Shaman, you could force a lot of easy kills, or you force Shadow Fiend to play back. And that's kind of what happened, despite the fact that he got first blood.
Okay. And with the ban of MidOrFeed banning out the Puck, they do also recognize that what you said, Charlie, that the Puck was the star of the show, enabling the Anti-Mage.
And they can put him either mid or off lane, very versatile hero. And then Dying.
That is an Undying first pick. We've seen it a couple of times this week. It hasn't been super convincing, has it?
Is that Radiant?
That is Radiant indeed.
10 seconds remaining.
I think the traditional knock against Undying is that he kind of falls off. But it comes down to what do you do with your Undying after the lane stage. Because we saw, I believe, was it EG or...
We've seen a bunch of teams run this, and I don't remember seeing it win.
I don't remember seeing it win that much either. There's an Ogre Magi and a Shadow Shaman coming out from OG. They liked the Shadow Shaman previously. Do you like this opening, Lumi? It's because it's very...
These are two of the biggest lane bullies, right?
Yes.
And more importantly, these two lane bullies are not tied to a lane, like, for example, Lich would be. So it gives OG a lot of versatility in terms of wherever they shoot their lane. You can even run an offensive tri-lane with these two supports if you want to.
And that is a Nature's Prophet.
One of the strongest off-laners there is, especially dealing with supports. He hits for 65. You can make 2 treants that hit for a total of 70.
10 seconds remaining.
Shaman is going to, in particular, have a lot of issue with that.
5 seconds remaining.
Do you feel like this is also an open start for MidOrFeed with the Undying and the Nature's Prophet?
I think these two are going to be your off-lane heroes with the Undying on the support. That's my guess.
Okay, just to do a lane there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Charlie? What do you think of the openings?
Big fan of Nature's Prophet, not a big fan of Undying. And you know, Ogre's a very... I think that hero's seen a lot of success lately. Both actually in DreamLeague from VP and EG. And then Shaman offers some push, lockdown.
OG's turn to ban.
Kind of whatever right now. Still very open for OG. Just because I don't like Undying that much, I'd rather be OG right now.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Venge is the next ban for OG.
Vengeful Spirit banned by OG. So...
We saw Fear casting Bloodlust for about 5 hours that day on the NA qualifier. With nothing but Ogre Magi.
5 seconds remaining.
It's about all his mind can take right now.
That's a ban. That's a ban, Charlie.
Oh, okay.
And the Queen of Pain ban with the Sven ban as well. Queen of Pain. One of the tempo setters, so they want to make sure that MidOrFeed maybe can't set super high tempo with the help of their mid.
Turn to pick.
Phantom Lancer is the ban for MidOrFeed. Why would they ban that? What's the logic?
We know that NoTel really likes PL, even back in the days about a year ago. Now, even though NoTel plays the mid now, it's very easy for them to swap it back, because Resolution definitely could play the mid, and NoTel could play the carry.
Remaining.
Which brings me to my next point. I feel like Ogre and Shaman are really good
5
support to set up
seconds
for
remaining.
Invoker
Okay.
as well. Resolution Invoker is one of his things.
True.
I don't know if we're gonna see it here, but
With because with Resolution playing mid, carry. You think that? I mean, it is
They
still
can swap
flexible.
lanes,
Yeah, they
yeah.
can swap about. They are very flexible.
neither team really giving away too much of their strategies.
Nope. We're gonna have a team giving away a little bit more of their strategies very soon because OG, they have to pick a hero. It's gonna be the third hero they're taking into their bonus time. They don't have that much bonus time left. I mean, we're only 2 picks in, and they only have 1 minute left of their 2-minute 10. I think there is. Pretty fast through it all. Let's see. Which role would you select first? Would you go for an offlane hero first again?
Well, you see their offlane, so
Yeah.
you can counterpick that. You can set up for the rest of your 2 cores. Typically, I don't think a lot of teams like showing. Yeah, so is that a centaur?
That is a
That
centaur.
is-
I think teams usually don't like to show their 1 or 2 before the others.
Yeah.
Bad core matchups are something core players complain about a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
You gotta keep them core players happy too.
5 seconds remaining.
How's
This
the
is
centaur going?
another good setup for
Hey.
the Invoker Sunstrikes. Just gonna put that
Yeah.
one out there.
Yeah. Okay. We're keeping that invoker in mind. Is there anything that MidOrFeed can pick up that can already deal with that? Like, which heroes can deal with an invoker?
Invoker is not exactly the strongest in the lane. For example, if you go like Vibrant dying on the mid lane, I see like Invoker having a ton of issue.
Mhm.
I wouldn't put too much stock on the Invoker pick. It's a good Invoker game, but it's not like necessarily that they have to go for it.
MidOrFeed taking their time once again.
OG's turn to
And they
pick.
go for the Bane, the Cinderin special.
I like Bane here a lot because it makes the Centaur ult fairly an effective way to retreat as a team. You could Nightmare one, grip another, and all of a sudden, despite the Centaur ult, OG has to make a decision of like, are we
10
just sacking
seconds
2 or are we
remaining.
running away? That kind of deal.
Radiant team pick.
By the way, oh, never mind. That's a Broodmother. We saw Broodmother yesterday by Team Liquid.
Yes. And they got countered hard by an Earthshaker mid.
Yes. And they lost that game.
10 seconds remaining.
What? Because we talked to who did
5
we talk to
seconds
afterwards? I think we
remaining.
talked to GH afterwards. What he thought about Broodmother? I can't remember what he said though.
Well, you ask them why
OG's
they
turn
picked
to
Broodmother. What made them think it was a good idea?
Oh yeah.
And then his reply was they didn't think.
Fair enough. That yeah.
So
Well, it's won them so many games just on a cruise control sort of thing. They put
Right.
Broodmother mid. Teams don't know how to,
10
in the past,
seconds
haven't
remaining.
known how to deal with it. They just got used to it.
And I think
5
the best way to
seconds
deal with
remaining.
Broodmother is to have a mid laner that could sustain with it, which they picked Timbersaw, so that's checkbox number 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I think checkbox number 2 is that you need to be able to pressure the Broodmother as she's farming across the map. And that's what we saw out of No One's Shaker, right? Once he picked
He
up
was
Blink
everywhere.
Shadowblade, he was just assassinating the Broodmother. Matumba Man, who had a 14-minute Deso MOM, still had Deso MOM like by the end of the game.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't see that hero for MidOrFeed. They could have a Prophet coming in with a
Radiant
Nightmare, I guess.
team ban.
Yeah.
But it's not something with an explosive amount of kill power.
No,
Yeah.
I think if they kill him, they need like 3 heroes.
Despite the Timbersaw game, with the Timbersaw mid, I still think this is a really good Brood game. Like, your 2 supports don't really have wave clear. Prophet
10 seconds
isn't a
remaining.
threat to Brood.
Yeah.
You have 1 counter to him, and Brood can
5
just avoid the
seconds
Timbersaw.
remaining.
Right. One more ban. What are we? Because if there's a Brood mid, we are still looking for a Rezo hero. Because I kind of feel like Brood is a no-till hero.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
I definitely see No-Tail playing the Brood.
Yeah.
I definitely don't see Resolution playing the Brood.
No. Hey, you never know. So we're missing a Rezo hero. Anything that you feel like OG is lacking? Because they got some team fight, I guess, but not an awful lot. They got tower push already. They got catch already.
Team pick.
OD is the one getting banned. So they don't want to deal with that.
Who has first pick out of the drafting phase?
It is MidOrFeed. So last pick goes to OG.
Okay.
MidOrFeed is thinking about their last pick
10
first.
seconds remaining. OG's turn
And
to
they go
pick.
for an Ember Spirit, the one that was banned out previously by OG, but they ban out Ember. Ember can deal with the spiders. Is it good enough?
I think it's actually a pretty good
It's
pick.
great, yeah. There's a lot of burst damage from the Ember as well, so that checks the
10
box of
seconds
catching
remaining.
the Brood and also killing the Brood.
Storm
You may now
Spirit.
select your
Is this a
heroes.
safe lane Storm or a safe lane Brood? This is
Oh.
crazy.
They could go either way with that. I think in any case they're gonna, because both Ember and Timber can deal fairly well with the Brood in lane. So they're gonna maybe try to put it up against the Nature's Prophet if they have the chance. But
So-
where are they gonna go?
Where do we think these two are going?
All the spirits.
I think safe lane Storm.
All right.
Safe
do
lane
safe
Storm.
That's my
lane Storm.
guess.
All right.
So in this draft, I feel like Undying is very stretched.
You can come over.
He needs to be in pretty much every single lane to help them win the lane,
Yeah,
and he can't
he
be.
can't be.
10
So I
seconds
think
remaining.
OG's gonna run with this draft with the Brood and the Storm. There's just not
5
enough lockdown.
seconds
Yep.
remaining.
I'm not a fan of the Undying either. I would go for OG as well.
I'm also going for OG. I think between, just like you guys said, Bane is the only hero that can lock down Storm. It's also not enough lockdown for Brood. Centaur, like you have a lot of ways to lock down the Prophet as well and the Ember Spirit. So
Yeah. All right. Well, is OG gonna keep that dream alive? Let's find out with OD Pixel and Fog, the game 2.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 2 now, OG versus MidOrFeed. And no anti-mage this time round.
Nope.
But he's the Storm Spirit coming out this time round from Resolution. So we'll be interesting to see how they land. I guess, as the panel suggested, it will be the safe lane Storm, don't you think?
Did Charlie walk through a shot?
Charlie!
How dare you? You know, if I was Paul,
Prepare for
I would
battle.
rip.
Oh, I remember that.
You a new
full
one.
segment, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Shout out
I
to
love
Paul.
you. Shout out to Paul. You're the best. Oh, I got that bug again. I gotta reconnect. But yeah, I think it's a similar kind of thing that OG is going for this time around. They picked the Storm, hard, elusive carry, scales well through the late game. They have Bloodlust as well on top of that to make him enable him even better. And what the panel mentioned several times, just a Bane. That is the only lockdown.
Cinderella.
So it will be very tough for them if they don't snowball out of control. They also don't really have the greatest tower pushers. It's just Nature's Prophet. So they're really looking to just like win these lanes extremely hard and then try to just crush afterwards. But their team fight is also not really that great on the side of MidOrFeed. So I'm definitely extremely concerned for them in this game.
30 seconds to battle.
See how they can do. Cinder and the boys, they had a tough time in game 1. And I can't imagine it's going to go similarly out of control, because there is no anti-mate. There is no sort of flash farmer on OG's lineup. Storm can still definitely be scary, but he's not going to be reaching the 1000 GPM level of resolution anti-mage.
No,
as we saw.
more than likely not. But he does have a pretty nice lane matchup if he is versus Ember Spirit. Static Remnant. You pretty much instantly pop the shield for the first 2 levels. Even up to the 3rd level, it's pretty easy to pop that shield. And I'm assuming Jerax is going to start in the mid lane.
Yep.
So that's 74 right click from Shadow Shaman versus a 1 armor Ember Spirit. Should be pretty good. So Synderen will have to start mid. And they're doing these lanes again that I think benefit OG. It's Kezu versus a Broodmother. And then it's Timbersaw versus Centaur.
Look at this as well. Flight and Jerax. Going immediately for a smoke movement. We'll see if they are able to get a catch on anyone. They're heading towards the top lane. Looks like they want to try and set up something for no tail.
You mean for S4?
Oh, sorry, for S4.
That's probably the harder lane. The Centaur versus Timber Saw. Timber, once you get a couple levels in reactive armor and the Whirling Death, you can just start pushing the lanes out a little bit better than the Centaur. Centaur farms anyway, because you're in your safe lane, you can pull the lane.
Oh, look at this. I mean, at this point, they know he's level 1. They know he only has the reactive armor.
Yep.
And that armor is not going to save him. Even with Weehaw turning up, trying to help turn things around. He has to be careful himself. Shackle is available. And he's just gone and offered himself up. Maybe he's going to go with it. Didn't quite have the stun back for S4.
He had the
getting close.
He had the triple decays at the start, so he had that 12 bonus strength, and now he's got 20 strength. He's going to be running a fly. Got the double mango build, too. So he's just going to be right-clicking them. Does a ridiculous amount of damage at the moment. 85 strength, or 85 damage. One more hit, the decay. Bye-bye.
Oh, dear. Weehaw.
Mid now, Sind gets grabbed by Jerex. Rezo, they go for the kill. Last right click, and they find it.
Rezo being able to south back up as the mid lane was going at the moment. Pretty close between the two. If anything, a bit of an edge for Cancel. He's getting a few more denies. Rezo unable to get those.
Sin's giving them the, I'm going to call it the solo treatment. Just enfeeble them over and over again so you can allow your mid laner to do better. But that is going to make it so No-Tail has a very nice lane in bottom. Nature's Prophet cannot deal with these spiderlings at all.
He's doing all right at the moment. It's 7 CS. He's still farming this Nature's Prophet, but as you say...
It gets worse and worse.
Sure. Yeah. He has to be very careful how close he gets, and we're going to see stuff like this where he just knows he's got a TP out as soon as the spider comes running in.
Yep. Once the Soul Ring comes up, the Broodmother has a very good... I think she has like Soul Ring and the Blightstone. That's where Nature's Prophet just really suffers. Sind gets a DD rune, so he's going to be able to put a little bit of pressure here onto OG. They don't really want to step up for that. They're going to try to distance themselves, throw right clicks from as far away as possible. Weehaw eats the Remnant.
We're very low. Yeah, Weehaw relying on the decay and now Cancel.
Soul Rip.
Coming forward, yeah. They'll take one. Thinking about running down Resolution, but he can't quite.
Kezu
on street change a little low.
Actually goes to the jungle rather than even attempting to contest.
I mean, you said it was a tough lane. And
I don't think you can ever leave just an open lane, though. That's not what you want to give to OG on top of them having a Storm Spirit.
But how else could you address this matchup that's sort of been bad? Would you like some TP support stuff? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I was going to say, I'm like, for this, they can't just leave a Brood alone. He'll farm out of control because he farms jungle as well as the whole creep wave every single time. Did No-Tail? Oh, No-Tail actually messed up there. He used to spawn spiderlings too early, so he didn't actually get them from the neutral camp there. So he'll run out of spiders for the time being. He's back at the mid lane. Now Weehaw. This is something people used to do a lot versus Ogre, was the Undying. You just kind of follow him around, and you just throw decays. And you're one of the few heroes that can actually stand toe-to-toe versus an Ogre. So we have what looks like it's going to be like a try versus try lane kind of happening in the mid lane mostly. Everyone just playing around. Nesport, doing just fine on the Centaur again.
Yeah, and as you say, game 1 S4 made a lot of stuff happen. Got a very quick Blink Dagger on the puck. 10 minutes in. See No-Tail on the hunt for the courier. He wants it. He's not going to get it though.
Jerex and Rezo, Rezo actually gives Jerex his bottle, so Jerex has an Invis rune now, so they're going to look for a setup kill here, because Rezo's suffering a bit in that mid lane because of the Bane. Bane Ember Spirit, pretty strong even if there's a dual lane coming up from OG, because Storm is just a weak hero in laning phase early on. He needs levels to become that powerhouse.
See if they can get anything with that Invis rune that he talks about. He's got his eyes on Weehaw. Him and S4 could have a shot. It's hard though, this isn't dying. If he turns around and gets decay.
They need one more.
Yeah.
One more hero.
To make sure they have enough burst. There we go. I'm actually going to look towards Kezu. He's the easier kill. Oh, split decision here. The Shackles is on one. S4 makes a run for the other, and because of that, Kezu gets away. Weeha's going to be fine, and Jerex is going to end up going down. And, I mean, was that the play really to split up and go for two, or should they have focused on one?
I think they focused on one. I think that had to have been like some miscommunication coming up.
And now Fly's in trouble too. Kezu's TP'd in. They're diving him under the tower with Tombstone. Fly is not getting away, surely, with the Treants chasing him. Fly is gone. Weehaw is still alive.
Now Jerex as well.
He's in trouble again. The feed train has turned up on top lane for OG as MidOrFeed just get kill after kill. Oh dear, what a blunder and a half for OG on that top lane. All off the back of a failed attempt to really kick things off. Going for separate targets and then methodically dying one by one.
They have to be careful of doing that kind of thing. Like we said, the one successful thing for MidOrFeed is that they have these like, strong lanes if they just get ran out like this. Undying and Bane, two of the stronger supports in laning phase. Nature's Prophet as well. They have the extra treants for the soul rip damage. Oh yeah, OG can't make those kind of mistakes here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Rezo actually gets pushed out of the mid lane. He's just jungling now in the offensive jungle. So Sind Bane putting in work already across the map, mid and top. And Weehaw just fan taunting. So it's gonna be up to Noto and S4. Well, mostly just pretty much all 4 heroes on OG to make space for Rezo. He's gonna need a lot of time to just get back online here. Once he does, though, we've said it multiple times, there's not a great amount of disables coming out from MidOrFeed. Bane and then the Ember Searing Chains to catch out that Storm Spirit.
Yeah, we can probably expect to see the Nature's Prophet itemized in a way that... Yeah, well, it's going to involve some sort of Orchid. Or...
Yeah. Oh, Kazu, he's getting found here by S4, but there's no other rotations coming up from OG.
Yeah, it's enough to scare S4 off. S4 can't go for the kill.
Thought we'd have some TP rotations coming out from OG, but no. Instead, TP is coming out from MidOrFeed. They're pinging out S4. Cancel. Trying to close the gap. There's still a Stampede at the ready. Holding it as long as possible.
That's what will be fine. A bit of waste of time, if anything, from MidOrFeed. They sort of try and chase towards a kill that seemingly impossible to get. Wrap around for Noto. The Spiders in our mid, trying to bring them down with the Remnants, but not quite enough damage. The Spiders, at the moment, he's just bringing them around in circles, sort of baiting Cancel away. Cancel's continuing to try and hunt them with the Remnants, but look, OG, now they're going to stop busting around the mid lane. They're going to look at their jungle, because Rezo just gets invaded by Weehaw and the gang as they walk in and they crush the Storm.
Aggressive ward coming out from Wee. They know that Rezo's jungling since they pushed him out of the lane, so great play them coming out from them. No tail though, now looking to get some kind of return kills here.
I was looking towards Kezu, but Weehaw drops the tombstone down, pops the mango. He gets stunned up by Fly, but they've got the control on Notel. They buy his way through the tree line. Stampede chase down, they get Kezu. Weehaw falling low, they have the lockdown. Weehaw, he's gonna go down as well. That's what OG needed. Couple of quick kills.
Tomato in the meanwhile taking advantage of this, trying to cut that bottom wave, push the tower.
Dire's bottom tower.
As she says, there's still so much time needed for the Storm Spirit. Rezo, he is not where he wants to be at this stage of the game. He needs space.
He's still behind, but that's where the other two start to come out ahead. You know, S4 is gonna have a very early blink dagger this game, and Notel, if he wants to, can just pick up the Desolator pretty much now. Already finished up. Bottom. Very important for MidOrFeed to take advantage of getting early towers, because like we were mentioning, they don't have great tower siege. It's pretty much just Nature's Prophet at this moment. Or for quite a long time even. Early tower is very important for them. Notel, walking the spiders up, looking to put some pressure onto that top tower. And instantly Tomato reacts. So this is where Notel has to back off, go back to jungling for a bit, or just switch away from that Timbersaw lane.
And then looking towards Cancel, but Cancel, he's fine. Remnants away.
Dire's top tower.
He's out of there. Kezu level 6, going for the drums, of course, after the face. Top MidOrFeed grouping up, ready to put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower. Kezu will join the cause as well.
Yep.
Should be able to clear this tower with no sort of answer from OG.
Good movement. Like we said, they gotta get those early towers. If they can close the gap of the map onto that Storm Spirit, it is a bit rough for Rezo to catch up. Noto, I feel like, has to be getting these split pushes happening whenever MidOrFeed goes to threaten one side, he has to threaten the other side. Or they can fall very far behind in map control.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Should be able to find this tier 1 if he wants to push. He's being a little careful as he is low. Some of MidOrFeed are still off the map.
OG has to bring a lot of heroes to actually respond to go from the Notel bottom, cancel. Looking for him. There's Stampede coming out, they're looking for mid, Weehaw.
That's the shackles. Rezo comes in for the glory.
That'll be Blink Dagger finished up on S4. Then they can actually look to set up these kills a lot easier. Because right now they don't have great setup. They have to continue trying to defend these towers too. Because they don't have deep push is what I was trying to say. So they need to bring like 2 or 3 heroes each time they want to stop this mid-or-feed push. No, Motto is very, very, very tough right now for them to bring down.
They're getting tower after tower here, middle-feed fly. See if he can get some sort of a lead in, but I mean, Tomato just jumps straight in on him with the chakra and burst down, fly to half health. They'll go forward. Kezu leading the way, has the sprout. The instant cut out of the trees is there, and Fly will be safe, but oh no. Left behind will be Jerax. As he gets cut down, they take the tower, get a kill as well. It's looking scary for OG, MidOrFeed. They've got the lead. And then, let's just say, the Blink Dagger's there. They need something big to stop these sort of pushes, but it's 11.5 minutes in. And
it's really not good for OG.
They may lose a tier 3.
They don't have deep push, they just have Jerax's Aether Shock. One zip comes in.
It's a good who stomping a zip in will take down Weeha. They turn towards Kezu, looking for more. Bloodlusting up Resolution, but a Nightmare's there from Sin. Holds back the Storm. It will only be the support going down. Cancel's actually coming for the fight. He's got the change on S4. Massive Nature's Wrath comes through. S4 is down. They have the Fire Blast onto Cancel, but Cancel, oh, shackled as well. They'll do it. They get the kill, but look at Tomato. Walking into the midst of them all, taking down Resolution as well as S4. 2 cores down, and they're losing this tower.
No-Tail's gone for Radiance.
Let's see what it can do. Give them the rundown, burn down. Synderen puts him in the Nightmare. Nightmare will be taken off. No-Tail.
No more webs.
Can't continue to chase that. It's looking scary for OG.
That is really, really tough. They have to be quicker on their responses to be able to push out the side lanes. They have to make it so MidOrFeed responds to the Broodmother pushes instead of just being able to go high ground like that, because OG does not have great deep push. They have to just go for these big jumps with the Centaur, with the Storm, as we saw coming out from them there. Now maybe with Shadow Shaman is having 6 on Jerax here, they can start doing that split push a little bit better, but yeah, they have to watch out right now. This is not a good time for OG to be at this kind of deficit, almost losing their tier 3. Defensive wards need to be placed up for OG so they can see those pushes coming out preemptively.
Dire are scanning.
MidOrFeed, if they see a chance to go for that sort of just down lane again, it's going to be hard, and they're looking to set up for you know, the kill to transition into a push. They've smoked up. They know if they can find a big pick-off, they can find a big push. No-Tail. He's coming close.
He saw it.
He does.
For a second.
He's in.
I think as soon as they see that...
He may still be in trouble, though.
No.
Cancel gets the wraparound. He's got the chains into the Fiend's Grip from Sinner, and No-Tail. Nice Radiance.
That's a big pick. I think they already have to start setting up for top. They throw the wards mid, and then I feel like they have to either cut the wave top or just react with every single one of their heroes. They can't let MidOrFeed knock on their front door. Last one on the tower. They are not in a good place right now. They have the DD on the Storm right now, on top of Treads with Kaya.
I mean, this tier 3 for sure is going down with this push.
Yeah.
Maybe even more if Rezo and the boys can't stop it. Rezo trying to lead in onto Tomato. The tombstone's down. Rezo getting decayed. With the ult on Undying, we are moving forward. The heal to Tomato. Cancel trying to chase him for the chains connection, but Jerax can fly back up. Tier 3 is down. MidOrFeed, they're eyeing up the racks. Cancel trying to see if he can get a catch with the chains. Forced him Remnant out. Gets himself back to safety. Resolution has been enfeebled. OG are there. No-Tail's back as well to hold the defense. They will be able to take the tombstone down and force MidOrFeed to back up, but that's the tier 3 gone. Slowly but surely losing elements of the base OG. They need to make big plays with S4 and his Houston. They have to have that sort of catch.
They just can't really mess with Tomato at the moment. He is way too strong. 1700 HP on top of a hood. They don't have the damage to bring him down unless he's completely isolated. MidOrFeed now, Kezu goes down bottom, but they still want to perch themselves up top. They want to keep that threat going there for OG to not be able to just split up the map. MidOrFeed's actually doing a really good job of limiting OG's resources.
Because they know if they keep putting the pressure on up top, there's no way that OG can sort of get a search party together to go and hunt down this split pushing Nature's Prophet.
Exactly.
And with that in mind, there's no way that OG can sort of get the farm back up to catch up unless they're able to break apart this sort of group up from MidOrFeed up top.
cancel. And Rezo is going to be duking it out a bit bottom.
Rezo doesn't have too much mana. Just have to be careful. He will go for the zip TP out. We'll save him. Mid lane though, MidOrFeed move in. Get the push onto this tier 1 town. Notel's going to lead in, start to look for some sort of fight with Tomato. As you say on the front line, very beefy. Doesn't care at all about any sort of jump from OG. And OG know that they can't initiate on this Timbersaw. They have to catch someone else.
OG has very minimal team fight. It's pretty much Centaur Stomp with Rasta spells. They have to have every single hero there. There is a regen rune bottom for Rezo. That could be one of the key successes for them to actually take one of these upcoming fights. Look at Tomato. No fear, just standing on the front lines there, just getting those reactive armor stacks up. They can't go for those kind of pickups. Cancel. Again, going toward top, gonna clean up these spiderlings. Gonna get a lot of gold from them too. Notel not gonna micro them away.
Regeneration.
Kez as well. Taking shrine after shrine.
OG, they're smoked up here. Tomato commits in.
But as we said, it's so hard to go on this Timbersaw. They're going to try it, but they want someone behind it, and they might just have found out. S4 gets the jump in. Big hoof stomp to start off. Finds the Cinder and Bane. Now, moving across for more. They claim Weehar's life. Turn towards Tomato. Now with the 2 supports down, they've got a much better chance of bursting down Tomato. Tries to tip a chain away, but the vortex is there from Rezo. That is the sort of fight they take. You saw, oh, it may not be over yet. They're looking. No, to cancel. Should be fine.
Sind is in some trouble here. That was a buyback as well.
It was a buyback from Sind. That is what OG are looking for, to break through the front line. I think what we saw about were 2 heroes, just control the Timbersaw. The rest of the team, bam, jumped around him. Just get, whether it's Cinder or Weehart, it's fine. They're the 2 supports, but as long as you can get some sort of kill to start things off, yeah, you can take these team fights. Of course, they do lose a bit of base damage. Whilst it was going on, I believe the creeps or treants and whatnot, they did take the range racks top. So they do lose a little bit in that sense.
But that's exactly the way OG needs to take the fights. Sure. Like you said, they saw Sind, both Rezo and S4 jumped on him, instantly killed him, and then the fight becomes a 4v5. As long as they can isolate the Timbersaw, that's when they can kill him. But as for just head up killing him, they still can if there's teammates behind him. Weeha well has gone for the drums. There's all early game items coming out from MidOrFeed. They have to keep this advantage going. They can't let OG stall this game out for the Storm Spirit.
Orchid nearly there for Kezu though. Might be a little bit of a worry for Reza.
OG, like, it's really tough though. For both sides, they can't really make mistakes in the next upcoming few minutes. One big mistake would just cost the game on either side.
Towards Tomato. They're showing the rest of the team behind him. Same to be said for MidOrFeed as they're smoked up. They're waiting for that sort of initiation. Cancel, heads forward. Thinking about starting things off. Redmond's the cross, looking for the catch on the Noto. He's not going to find it. Stampy's there.
Oh, and 2.
Gets the Huso on 2. Reza with a follow-up. Gets the 2 kills. Killing spree for Notel. And now they turn towards Tomato. They split MidOrFeed apart. Kezu's trying to TP away, but Rezo's in there with the Vortex, dragging him back, beating down Kezu. Gets the 3rd kill. And Tomato, he ain't getting out either. The Who Stomps there from S4. And again, S4, the patience. And then seeing that opportunity to come in, get that 2-man Who Stomp. He's done it both times in these fights. When OG has been behind, S4 stepped up, and he's getting those jumps that they need.
Sind and Weeha can't be standing together in those situations. They get caught out, and that's the team fight. That's literally the team fight for MidOrFeed. If those 2 die, there's no way that they can take a fight versus OG with that Bloodlusted Storm and Bloodlusted Broodmother they have to damage. But now, this Roche not going as fast as they want to.
Cancel is there. Can they make some sort of big play? Yeah, OG know this is risky. They had to back off. Look how low resolution is. He barely had enough mana to sit back up to the high ground.
MidOrFeed might just get this rush now.
I think they may want to. They've got Kezu. They've got the Treants. They can do it very safely themselves with the Treants tanking. And they will move back into the pit. OG, they need to somehow refuel Rezo back up and get him over if they want to contest it. And he is having to take the long walk back to base. He does have a TP, but guess what they don't have? There's no shrine there.
Yeah,
you can come over to the tier 2 mid, but yeah, with Kezu taking the shrine earlier, it may even be impossible for Rezo to get it. The rest of OG trying to buy as much time as they can to allow them to get in And, you know, Rezo back in on the action.
MidOrFeed's not killing in time. They need the Nature's Prophet to be hitting that for them to actually have
Tomato
gets bashed up, and they're going to got him now.
He tried to Timber out, but the bash there, the Nightmares there from Stin, buying some time, gets round 2 off the Timber Chase. Sinner goes for the Fiend Script, but Rezo straight on top of the Bane, takes down Stinner, and JerAx moves forward. He's got the Hex, Shaman Ward's down as well. Weehard's gone, mega kill streak for No-Tail, and Casper, he remnanted in on this one. He's trying to get back out, he's got the Side of Fist and Remnant. JerAx still alive for now, Rezo jumping up. Tomato is trying to finish off JerAx, but JerAx, he's got the Hex, holding Tomato back. Tomato goes for the Chakram, will cut down JerAx, and they do lose Fly as well. But overall, No-Tail and Rezo still alive. Rezo low on the mana, but No-Tail, he's giving Cancel the rundown, and he does not have any remnants. The Radiance burn, nearly doing it. So we have one left, but indeed Rezo was there ready and waiting with the remnant that he'd already put out in the pit. And with that, OG will take Roshan. Tomato's there, but he can't get in time, and in fact, he may, well, if he gets chased down, a Blink Hoostomp could have caused issues. Still maybe a lack of damage to do so, but that's scary for MidOrFeed. Big fights, big plays from OG.
Oh, that's such a costly situation now. Now Storm has Bloodstone finished up on top of Kaya with the Aegis.
Yep.
I don't want to say it just yet, but they may have lost their time window here versus this OG lineup. They have to keep trying to get this threat.
On the XP and the gold, it just bam, swings right around into the hands of OG.
Yeah, JerAx with Force Staff and Blink Dagger now soon.
He made some very, very nice little plays there in that fight.
The instant Hex onto Weehaw, unable to really get much off, and the Tombstone was already committed before that fight started too, so they didn't have their big team fight abilities from MidOrFeed. It's looking really scary now for MidOrFeed, honestly. Like, they need to just be able to keep threatening towers and have vision of where OG is going, and this was the big one that happened there. That two-man stomp.
S4.
Absolutely perfect.
The master of just finding those sort of jumps, regardless of what hero you put him on. You can rely on him to start the fight in a good way.
Yeah.
Just no hope for MidOrFeed in a fight like that when it kicks off as it does.
It's gonna get harder and harder for them too, for the reasons that we mentioned earlier in the panel was talking about. The lack of disables versus Storm Spirit when he's online. He is now online. He's got Bloodstone, Kaya. They're looking to just smoke and take these engagements. They can't allow MidOrFeed to just knock at their front doors. And I mean, the later this game goes, it's just heavily OG favored.
See what they can get done here.
Giving the wrap around.
They are giving them the long wrap around. So they can catch. Rezo's already in. He's going straight away with the Vortex. Drags in Stinner, and that's the Bane down. Stampede pop. They do lose a second. Kezu's fallen. And OG, they're going for more. As soon as they pick apart the team, they can just continue to wipe them out methodically, piece by piece. Tomato down as well. These team fights proving to be incredibly easy for OG now.
Yeah, I really think MidOrFeed lost their time window. That rush had to go in their favor. I don't know how they can deal with this brute force coming out from OG. Yeah.
Some say Synderen lost his time window a few teams ago. But in this game, it's looking rough. S4. so I love Synderen.
I can't even look at you now.
I love you, Synderen. Come and cast again.
S4. He's looking as they're closing the gap. Rezo's jumping in. Level 18, 19 Bloodstone charges. And cancel. JerAx.
There's the Hex into the shackles. OG's in. Oh, Rezo's got no mana, so he'll have to make the long walk over. But cancel off the back of that will be fine. What? He'll be fine. No-Tail's trying to give him the rundown. Turns towards Tomato. Fiend Script there for Synderen. Oh, but the instant Hex from JerAx saving the Spider.
He will pay with his life.
A selfless play from JerAx. Yeah. But it gets No-Tail out of there.
He had to save his buddy.
Yeah, he had to. Otherwise, he might have been kicked.
No, he's secure.
He's okay. He's safe.
Storm Spirit getting out of control. 6k gold lead for OG. 15,000 experience lead. That's what the experience actually is.
This is so hard to recover for MidOrFeed, as OG certainly seeming to be on the verge of securing 2 of those 4 victories they need today to make it to the major.
This was scary for a moment, though.
It was early on was a little bit ooh and ah.
Yeah, especially because of Kezu's idea to take that shrine was really nice, but now they can't take head-on fights versus this OG lineup. every single time S4 finds the heroes that they... the perfect hero, honestly. Rezo and him jump on poor Synderin. Synderin dies. The control isn't there for the fights. And then Rezo jumps for Nature's Prophet, and they just can't really do much about it. They can't deal with the Stone Scourge once he's at this point. Orchid is finished up on Kezu.
Okay. He's got to have some super close silences though. And even at that, just the way that OG's playing around each other, it's going to be very hard for MidOrFeed to silence someone and take them out before the rest of the team reacts. And oh, here comes Rezo. Zip zapping in on Tomato. Drags him back with the Vortex. There's the silence. And with that by sometimes turn around with the Force and the Stampede's there, Resolution's fine. And in fact, they want to try and get back in. S4 will be held back by the Chains and Remnant.
No-Tail's taking top in the meanwhile too. They actually have to port and react and just let whoever's there just die off.
I mean, No-Tail, to be fair to the man, he's been absolutely crushing this game. He's had a few rough runs, but this time round, he gets the Radiance. He's farmed an absolute treat, and he's had a good impact in the fights as well. He's 8-1-6 on the Broodmother. And here's Silence, goes to TP out, and he'll make it. Good ball. Back to safety. Same can't be said though for the Ember Spirit. Cancel as he gets caught out once again by S4.
And there's an Orchid now on Rezo, so cancel. Anytime he shows, he's gonna get Orchid up and killed instantly. Same thing kind of goes for the Timbersaw until he has Lotus Orb finished up. They just have much easier ways to get these kills off.
See what they can do now. 26-14 OG with quite the lead in their cause. Looking good. Rezo. This is the Aegis.
He's keeping the Aegis regen.
He's keeping the Aegis regen as long as he can to set up for the kill. Silence onto Kezu. Another pick off for Rezo. He's up to 22 Bloodstone charges. Doing pretty good for himself.
The fact that Storm is involved in 24 out of the 27 kills shows just how important it was for him to catch back up.
And just how well Rezo's playing today. I mean, he was not having a good time in the lane this game, but now, 26 minutes in, he's 11-2-14.
Sure. He's jumping across the whole map looking for kills.
Oh my goodness. Rezo, he wants that major spot. He really does.
Oh, and look what runes bottom.
Oh, I'll take that.
Lovely.
That's fine.
24 Bloodstone charges, 60 mana per second. And, oh, a regen rune. And he's going to now go on Tomato. He's ready.
Oh, here we go. Where's the zip? He gets the and he goes with the silence, tracks in Tomato. Rezo, he wants another kill. And that man, he'll get another kill. Beyond godlike for Resolution. I mean, they should start preparing his hotel room already in Sweden. As Rezo, he is doing everything to get that.
This game's in the bag. 14k gold lead. That succession of kills and team fights.
Yeah.
OG just executing them perfectly.
Look at that. Graph is a bit of a sad story indeed for MidOrFeed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Latch. Last effort. Smoke up. And don't show on the map because Rezo will jump you from across the opposite side and kill you.
See what they can do here. Tail in a little deep. Synderin has got the Fiend's Grip.
Oh, Rezo jumps.
Rezo, look at the damage from that zip. Comes in, instantly wipes too. He has been silenced, but he will be fine. He's still got enough to zip back out. And if anything, they could look to re-engage if they see a chance to. Fly turns with the Fire Blast, holding back cancel. Tomato looking for the Chakram, but Rezo, indeed, he just goes back in onto the Timbersaw with the Orchid, takes him down. Tomato will get the chance to deny himself, but the rest of Synderin's team are just being picked apart piece by piece. Back to the base, Cancel tries to make it, but Fly goes in. Rezo looking for the kill. Ooh.
Uphill miss.
Uphill miss. RNG against Rezo.
Oh, but the fire cancel will be fine. But they killed him on the back.
And GG is called. It is all over, ladies and gentlemen, as OG complete part one of their trip to the major as they get the clean 2-0 against MidOrFeed. One more series stands in their way, and it, without a doubt, will be the more challenging one.
This one I wouldn't say so clean. But they did do it. You know, it was looking very scary for a moment, but they just took some really good head-on fights. They contested with all 5 heroes to try to defend that tier 1 tower. Sind and Weehaw getting caught out once or twice by the double hoof stomp by S4.
Yeah,
and then they're just
S4 killing it in that mid. I think, you know, a lot of the sort of